Hello, my name is Cornelius Smith. Today I'll be talking about Erikson, his psychosocial theory, and the contribution he had in the psychology field. I'll be referring to a journal article written by Donna Capes titled The Decade of Life, Relocating Erikson's Stage, published in the Pastoral Psychology Volume 53, Number 1 in 2004. Also, I'll refer to a class textbook written by David Myers in 2011, titled Exploring Psychology, 8th edition in modules, page 170, listed in table 12.1. Erikson was born in Germany in 1902 and passed away in 1994. He was raised by his mother and stepfather and grew up with the last name of Homberger, Erik Homberger, taking the last name of his stepfather, who was his childhood pediatrician. It was not until he was an American citizen he changed his last name from Homberger to Erikson. Erikson developed his social theory based off of the identity issues he had growing up as a child. Raised by a stepfather, not knowing his biological father, and being revealed of the secret that his mother conceived him after having an affair with her first husband. Erikson was introduced into the psychology field after taking a job at the age of 25 at the Harvard Medical School. At the Harvard Medical School, he met Anna Ford, another psychologist who is actually married to Sigmund Freud, the theorist and psychologist who made psychosexual stages, and had an influence on Erikson's development. Erikson credits Freud and other psychologists and anthropologists for helping him create psychosocial development. His 8 stages of development starts with infancy. At the age of 0 to 1, you deal with trust versus mistrust. Your second stage is toddler. You deal with autonomy versus shame. Your third stage is preschool. At the age of 3 to 6, you deal with initiative versus guilt. Your fourth stage is elementary. At the age of 6 to puberty, you deal with industrial versus inferiority. Next is one of the most critical stages in the human life, I believe, and many others. It's adolescence, identity versus role confusion, from your teenage years to your early 20s. Next is young adulthood. At the age of 20 to 40, you're in the stage of intimacy versus isolation, forming social networks or the lack of, and being isolated. Next is middle adulthood. At the age of 40 to 60, you're set in your career or you're thinking about changing. This is generality versus stagnation. Your last stage is late adulthood. At the age of 60 to death, you are dealing with issues of integrity versus despair. You reflect on your life and evaluate them. There was actually a 9th stage developed by Erikson's wife titled Old Age. It has a combination of infancy and toddler issues of trust versus mistrust and autonomy versus shame. Donna Capes elaborates more on Erikson's theory by putting it into a decade perspective. For example, preschool is at the age of 3 to 6. He expanded it from 20 to 30, dealing with issues of initiative versus guilt. Around this time, at the age of 20 to 30, you're either out of college or going from job to job, or you're in a job, but you had to initiate getting that job. If you're not where you want to be, you may have feelings of guilt. Erikson's theory had such a great influence in the psychology field, winning many awards and having an invitation to the White House Youth Conference to speak on healthy personalities and social development. Erikson believed strongly about social and cultural orientation having an influence on a person's life. He believed that the environment shapes a person's behavior and wanted to elaborate more on his thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about Erikson. Thank you.